It is the 13th day of July 2025. Welcome to Citizen Weekend. It's a chilly Sunday afternoon. I hope you're keeping warm wherever you're watching us from. My name is Wycliffe Randy. Let's take a look at our top stories at this hour. Distraught family of missing Wajir Huduma Center manager Hussein Abdirahman seeks his whereabouts.
There will be no transition. And we are saying we gave an ultimatum.
NAT accuses Teacher Service Commission of delaying talks on new CBA. And Larry Boys High School closed indefinitely after students went on rampage and allegedly set ablaze the administration block and several classrooms. Welcome to the broadcast. Now, a family in Wajir is in distress following the disappearance of their kin who vanished 5 days ago and has not been traced since. It is said that Hussein Abdirahman Mohammed, a Huduma Center manager in Wajir town, left his rental unit on Tuesday evening after a series of phone calls and has not been heard from since. While calling for swift action from security agencies in the tracing of their kin, the family alongside local leaders want the public servant returned as the horror of his disappearance continues to take a toll on them.
We do not know whether he has been kidnapped, harmed, or is being held against his will. What we do know is that his disappearance is out of character, deeply alarming, and demands urgent attention from both the government and the public.
Tumeambia county commissioner, tumepeleka kwa CID, tumepeleka kwa polisi, kila mahali tumekosa. Lakini ile inatusumbua leo ni kwamba tumepeleka mashtaka yetu kila mahali na tuoni hatua yoyote ikichukuliwa kwa dharura.
Kwa vile imeweka picha yake katika mtandao, tena ni mtu ambaye ana mwili kubwa. Kwa wale ambao walikuwa wameona yeye ni rahisi kutambua. Kwa tunaomba mtu yeyote ambaye amesikia ama ameona mahali popote tupashe habari mahali popote ambaye karibu na polisi ili apatikane.
Meanwhile, a section of political leaders from Northeastern region led by Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale have declared their support for President William Ruto's bid for a second term, citing the successful implementation of key development projects that have significantly improved the lives of Kenyans. Speaking during the 60th anniversary celebrations of Wajir High School in Wajir town, the leaders applauded President Ruto's commitment to transform the country.
Uhuru handed over to you, President Ruto, a peaceful and a stable nation. You must implement the oath you took in Kasarani.
And speaking on behalf of all governors of Kenya as chair of council, you have my support, you have my assurance that we will work with you to ensure that SHA succeeds for the benefit of the average Kenyan.
Sisi maneno yetu ni mafupi tu. Tunasema tu 2 term. Ama kuna maneno mengine? 2 term. Sio? Si tunangojea tu debe iletwe hata kama hatutakuwa na votes tutamuibia. Hiyo si siri. Asanteni.
Now, a section of Kenya Kwanza members of parliament has called out opposition leaders, accusing them of engaging in what they term as targeted frustrations towards the president in a bid to derail him from executing his mandate to Kenyans. Now, led by Senate Majority Leader Aaron Cheruiyot, the MPs urged their political opponents to prepare adequately and use the ballot as the rightful avenue to seek redress, stating that it remains the only legitimate means of expressing political will.
Kenya ni yetu sisi wote. Hatutaki maneno ya uchochezi na kuvunja mali ya watu na kufanya sijui nini na nini. Mnafikiri ati nyinyi peke yenu ndio mko na sauti. Mimi ningependa kusema kwa sababu sasa tuko na IBC. Nimeona hata Kalonzo ameanza wasiwasi. Sasa wewe Kalonzo ulikuwa unajipiga kifua juzi. Wakati IBC imetangazwa tayari umeanza wasiwasi ya kusema sijui ni ya nani. Hii sheria ya IBC mimi na Kalonzo na wengine tulitengeneza pale Bomas.
sisi kama Wakalenjin tunanugunika sana kwa sababu tunapenda watu wote. Kama kuna nchi ambayo ina welcome kila mtu ni watu wa Rift Valley. Sasa nyinyi mkitaka kujitenga mjieke kando, mnasema eti kabila ile ingine haifai kufanya lile lingine. Sisi kama wabunge wa Kalenjin tunasema mambo
yanafanya yale anatamka hayaambatani na sheria na katiba ya Kenya. Tukamuondoa tukampeleka nyumbani.
Still on matters politics, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua continued his one-term campaign in the United States of America, telling the diaspora to support the bid to kick out President William Ruto from office in 2027. Speaking during the inaugural Ngemishia Ruraya Kenyan Music Festival held at Sagalie Park in Seattle, Washington, Gachagua rallied the Kenyans living in the U.S. to support the bid to salvage the economy and bring change to the country. PLP party leader Martha Karua, who is accompanying Gachagua, also said the team will settle on one opposition candidate to avoid splitting their votes. The festival brought together hundreds of attendees eager to reconnect with their cultural roots through music, food and traditional performances.
Hapa Amerika mnasemaje? Wewe Kasongo, wewe Kaongo, wewe Zakayo, wewe mtu ya kutenga.
My brother Rigathi anasema one term. Mimi ninasema no term. No term. Na ni kwa sababu how many more must die so that Kasongo finishes one term? So that our economy can rise, Ruto must die. So that the human rights of everyone may be respected, Ruto must die. To end abductions, Ruto must die.
Let's now shift away from matters politics to education. And Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Ogamba has reaffirmed the government's commitment to promoting indigenous languages, praising the efforts of Bible translation and literacy BTL in translating scriptures in native dialects. Joined by Machakos Governor Winyan Deity, Ogamba highlighted the impact of translating scripture in promoting morality and Kenya's cultural identity. The Machakos Run for the Bible-less brought together local schools, church leaders, educationists, corporate partners and residents to support the cause.
There are quite a number of local languages in the country that do not have the Bible translated into their language, and that is the reason why we do this run and this work for purposes of raising funds to support BTL in their job of ensuring that each and every community has a Bible in their language.
BTL works very closely with KICD to develop indigenous language materials for the communities where we are working. BTL, we've completed 6 complete Bibles, both New and Old Testament. We've completed 16 New Testaments. In fact, the last one was just launched this last Saturday in Malindi.
Larry Boys High School has been closed indefinitely after students went on rampage and allegedly set ablaze the administration blocks several classrooms and science departments. Reports indicate the students turned chaotic after they were denied their usual Saturday evening entertainment session, destroying property worth millions of shillings. During the chaos, several students sustained minor injuries and were rushed to hospital where they were treated and discharged. Sources say the students who did not destroy their dormitories dismantled security lights and CCTV cameras, apparently to avoid detection. Residents who responded to the distress call were repulsed with stones after the students became hostile. Still on matters of education, the Kenya National Union of Teachers, NAT, has accused the Teachers Service Commission of employing delayed tactics in beginning talks for a new collective bargaining agreement, CBA. The union has expressed its disappointment over failure by the employer to table a counter-offer for the teachers by July 1st. The union has threatened to marshal its members to down their tools by July 28th and paralyze learning across the country should TSC failed to table a counter-offer on their proposal in the 2025 to 2029 CBA. Teachers are demanding for a 60% salary increment for the educators, a 30% rise in allowances, and an enhanced medical cover for teachers. It is also pushing for acting alliances for teachers appointed to positions, but not yet confirmed.
The emperor are saying they are also consulting. I don't know who they are consulting, because with them, they are our employer. We don't ask anybody else. You normally go directly to your employer. There is the Salary Elimination Committee, which has already finished with our document, and it has given recommendation on how they are supposed to respond to our teachers of this country.
If the CBA is not signed, definitely you will see that there will be no peace. There will be no transition. And we are saying we gave an ultimatum. Ultimatum is not a strike notice. We'll follow up next week. If we have not agreed, we'll have to register a dispute with labor. After that, if it lapses without having anything, then definitely we'll call a strike, which that is the last weapon we used to have. And you know, it will disrupt the transition from grade 9 to grade 10.
Moving on now, Kuria West residents can breathe a sigh of relief after the county government started the construction of elevated water tanks. The project being undertaken in collaboration with the Lake Region Development Authority is expected to take 3 months. Migori County Deputy Governor Dr. Joseph Mahiri said the project will drastically reduce the distance residents travel to fetch water and improve hygiene and sanitation across the area.
I know provision of water is the function of the county government, but we can't handle all the demands. That's why we get collaboration from the development partners, local and international, and also the partnership from the national government in undertaking main projects for their people. Especially water is a huge investment that it requires. For example, this project is going to cost over 15 million, and we are estimating to serve more than 500 households.
China Trade Week celebrated its 10th year anniversary, holding a trade fair at the KICC that attracted manufacturers to small medium enterprises in and out of Kenya. The 3-day event attracted over 100 exhibitors, including 88 from China, and displayed the latest products in building materials, solar energy, and agricultural processing equipment. David Wang was the chairman of the MIA Group. The organizer of the China Trade Week said the event was initiated to provide a channel that builds bridges among Chinese and African businesses. This year, the China Trade Week heavily partnered with the Jua Kali sector.
The exhibition will be a great starting point. I think we will put more effective in this market, and I believe that there will be numerous opportunities of cooperation in this market.
A lot of Kenyan companies have signed exclusive distributorship deals with Chinese companies. Also this year, because we are celebrating our 10th anniversary, what we did was to promote our own Jua Kali artisans by partnering with the Federation of Jua Kali Association and giving them 20 booths for them to come and showcase what Kenyans can do. Going ahead for the next 10 years, what we are thinking is starting a program where we could send some of our local artisans to China to go and learn on finishing tools for 3 months.
Let's now cross borders to Spain, where sadly 8 people were injured on Sunday during the final bull run of the annual San Fermin festival in Pamplona, Spain. The injured were taken to local hospitals for treatment. Now the bulls from the La Palmosilla Ranch ran the 875-meter course through Pamplona's narrow streets in 2 minutes and 24 seconds. Hundreds of participants dressed in traditional white outfits with red neckerchiefs sprinted ahead of the animals as thousands of spectators watched. Despite the presence of medical teams and safety precautions, injuries are a regular occurrence due to the speed and size of the bulls and the crowded, confined running routes. It is 15 minutes past the top of the hour. You take a short commercial break right now, but I'll bring you some sports news on the other side of the break. Keep it, Citizen TV. Welcome back, Matters Sports now, where newly promoted Madeira Girls Soccer Assassins will begin preparations for the upcoming FKF Women's Premier League season immediately after the conclusion of the National Secondary School Games set to take place next month in Kakamega. Now, the club management, led by patron Dr. Frederick Mavisi and Director Alex Alumira, made the announcement on Saturday evening during the official unveiling of the team's new kit and sponsors ahead of the upcoming campaign. The event held at KCB Leadership Center in Nairobi was graced by former Sports Cabinet Secretary Ababu Namwamba and Vihiga County Governor Wilbur Tichilo. Madeira Soccer Assassins have qualified for the National Secondary Schools Championships as a first runners-up in the Western region and remain focused on delivering the national title.
Today, the most important Madeira Soccer Assassins. Your partnership brings hope and dignity to these girls. Your support will provide them with modern training kits and equipment. Fund academic scholarships so that no girl is left behind due to school fees.
I've always been trying to help the grassroots, right? That's something I've been very passionate about ever since I've retired from playing. And everyone's like, you have to go see the amazing talent in Africa. You have to go. And so I was like, I have to go do this.
Madeira Soccer Assassins. It's more than just a school. It is a breeding ground for character, a breeding ground for talent, a breeding ground for phenomenal women.
Remember, tonight is the FIFA Club World Cup Finals, Chelsea versus PSG. May the best team win. Remember, details of all these stories that I've given you and much more on Nipashe Weekendi at 7 and at 9 p.m. on Citizen Weekend with Jeff Koinange and Olive Barrows. But remember, there will be an interview with one Ayub Abdi Kadir. He'll be talking to Miguna, the self-proclaimed general of the NRM. He's in Ontario, Canada, and we'll be linking live with him. He'll be talking, of course, of an array of things, including his deportation ordeal, remember that, and his relationship with former Interior CS Fred Matiang'i, President William Ruto and his administration, and of course, his once close ally, Raila Odinga, and much more. So don't miss all that on Citizen Weekend tonight. My name is Wycliffe Orandi. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon and the week ahead. Goodbye for now.